Hey, church family. I hope this finds you well today. I want to take just a minute and update you on some plans and details surrounding our gatherings for the next several weeks. And I also want to share with you some exciting things that we want you to know about that are happening in the very near future. So stick around to the end of this video so that you can hear about that. I'll start by saying, of course, as you know, that Governor Abbott removed the mask mandate in Texas starting on Wednesday, March the 10th. As a church, of course, we were never under any government orders and have been doing the things we've been doing because we felt like they were what most honored God and communicated our love for our neighbors. And every decision we've made over the last year, we have tried to listen closely to the governing authorities and considered their recommendations. But ultimately, our hope and prayer has been, as Paul talks about in Romans 14, that we can do what leads to peace and we can do what leads to the mutual edification and building up of our church body. And so with that in mind, I want to just share with you kind of our plans, what Sunday mornings will look like for the next several weeks. First of all, we'll continue to have two in-person services, the 9 a.m. Word and Table service and the 10:30 worship service. And the 9 a.m. Word and Table service is going to be, for the time being, as it has been. Masks will stay on the entire time, and I'll actually continue to preach in a mask for the next several weeks as we see what numbers do in our area. That service, as you'll remember, started as a way to provide a meaningful space for people to grow in their faith while connecting with each other and with God. And we want to keep that in place for people who are maybe are most at risk and still feel that that's the best option for them. We want to continue that for the time being. And so that'll continue to remain as it has. Now, starting this Sunday, March the 14th, in the 10:30 service, we're going to go back to what we were doing with mask protocols prior to Thanksgiving. And so what that means, in case you have forgotten, means we're going to ask you to wear masks in and out of the building and when you're out of your seat and while we're singing. But the change will be that when you're just sitting in your seat and the sermon is happening or something like that, you're welcome to take that down. And we hope that that will provide a little bit of a step in the direction that I know many would like to go. Now, I want to also acknowledge for some of you, I know that isn't enough. For some of you, you wish we'd have done more or less on both sides of that issue. And so I want to just speak to that for a minute. We are approaching things this way because we know, first of all, that the protocols that we've had in place work. And they have allowed us to continue meeting in person, and we're thankful for that. We also know, secondly, that a number of our church family are in the process of being vaccinated or have been vaccinated and will be receiving those second shots maybe in the coming weeks. And we want to give people time that want to be vaccinated a chance to complete that process and still have a place to gather for worship that they feel fits their needs the best. And so we'll follow this plan the way I'm communicating that we're going to do it through Easter, and then at some point in April we plan to reevaluate things and see about what guidelines we might need to change or how things are looking based on the numbers in our area. Just as a reminder, in the 10:30 service, we will continue to provide children's worship for our kids ages kindergarten through second grade and a class for our third, fourth, and fifth graders during the sermon. Suzanne and our volunteers are doing a great job. We're excited to keep those offerings for our kids. And I just want to say, if you have children in kindergarten, birth through fifth grade, we hope that you'll consider coming to the 10:30 service as soon as you are ready and able. And speaking of that, our student ministry is already meeting back on Wednesday nights. And if you have a student in the youth group, we want that student here. We want them to be here. We know most all of them are going to school in person, and we think that it's important that they be here with the rest of the youth group on Wednesday nights. We know if you're like me and you have kids at home, this last year there have been a lot of things that have been missing for our kids. And we want to try our very best to continue to come alongside families to help you in discipling your kids in the way of Jesus Christ. And we think our Wednesday night gatherings for our students is a great way for that to happen. So please, if you have a student in that age group, make sure that you're encouraging them, getting them here in whatever way you have to do that. Now, next week is spring break for a number of our area school districts, and so there won't be anything going on here at the building next week. But on Wednesday, March the 24th, student ministry will continue to meet, and part of the exciting news I'm ready to share with you is that Children's ministry will be back in person that night on Wednesday, March 24th, and our Grief Share ministry is going to be returning that night at 6:30. All those things will start at 6:30. So we hope that you will plan to be a part of those if those are relevant to you and to your situation. We want to continue to provide space for our kids and for our teens, and we're so thankful that all of those groups, our Grief Share ministry included, will be able to meet again. Suzanne is still in need of some help for teaching the pre-K and kinder age group, and so if you can help her with that, please let her know. That would be a great blessing. Now, can I share some exciting news with you, something I've been waiting to share with you for a while? Sunday, April the 4th, Easter Sunday, we are planning to move back into the auditorium. Yeah, I said it. We're planning to move back into the auditorium. We have been out of that worship space for more than a year, and we are really, really excited about moving back in there. So just 3 more weeks, we can do it in the gym, and then we'll plan to make that transition back to the auditorium, of course, assuming everything is continuing to trend in the right direction. And as we get closer, we'll give more details about the 2 services that we'll have and what practices we'll have in place, though we expect that those will be the same as what we're using in the gym. Mostly, we just want you to know that that's happening so you can prepare to be there in person with others that day to celebrate Easter together. And we have some things we're going to present to you, some things we'll be doing as a church during the lead up to Easter Sunday that we're excited about as well. And we'll give you more details here in the next couple of weeks. But just be aware that that day, April the 4th, is the day we're targeting to move back to the auditorium, and we're really, really excited about that. One other thing about Easter and about moving into the auditorium. One of the reasons we've been kind of delaying that more recently is that during this time we've been out of the auditorium, we have been remodeling that space and doing some work in the foyer, and that work is still ongoing, and it will all be completed by the end of March. And so we are excited for you to see the new look of the auditorium, of the foyer. We think you're going to love it, and I'm excited for you to be able to share that with you. All of that has taken place through the Reaching People funds that you have given so faithfully in recent years. And so I know it'll be a blessing to our church to have kind of an updated look in that area, and we're excited for you to be able to enjoy that in years to come. Now, as we close, I just want to encourage you today. I'm hopeful that things are moving in the right direction. I know that even if they end up trending in a direction that none of us want, I know that better days are ahead no matter what. And as we've talked about as a church, even this past Sunday, we trust God, and we trust that God is with us. God has not turned his face away from us, even in moments that might feel forsaken. And so my prayer for you today comes from Romans 15:13. It's a prayer I pray often, and it's a reminder of the hope that we have. It's a reminder of the joy that is invincible that we carry around in our hearts. And this is what it says: May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. I pray that today you will be filled with hope, with joy, and with peace as you trust in Jesus. I hope to see you soon, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes of time to watch this update. God bless you. I love you.